have here. So guys, I'm K-dre Almighty, by the way, welcome to the channel. But if you've been keeping up with the Nintendo lawsuit news, you know that they recently got denied their patent in Japan, which everybody seemed to think that they were going to be, just instantly just get whatever they want. And it seems like it's not going that way. I mean, these guys are trying to patent, common things that's been existing for a long time now that would mess up a lot of franchises and just a lot of things that people love, like Digimon, this Power World, and a lot of other monster catching, creature riding, just games and franchises. And it's nothing but greed. And I'm happy that these guys are getting what they deserve. Absolutely nothing. They do not deserve these patents. It's not exclusives to them. It's not really something they created necessarily. Nintendo Game Freak does not deserve to, have this, especially in their track record. I mean, you give them these patents. They're not even giving us quality games now. When they have the absolute guarantee of no competition, imagine what these guys would be like. It is not going to be a good space. I do not want to play. I don't even want to play the new Pokemon game they came out with. I was, debating it. I was like, should I get it? It looks, but seeing people review, seeing the game, hearing about it, I'm good in my decision. I don't even have a Nintendo Switch 2. Do I want it? No. I just don't like a lot of the new things that Nintendo is doing, and moving forward, I think I'm gonna distance myself, which I have distanced myself. So what I'm talking about, I'm gonna keep my distance from Nintendo. But I keep my ear open and I'm hearing things. And it looks like in the US, that's right, here in the US, they're also going to be looking over and considering if they should have gave them that patent that they did. And I think that's a good thing. And I think it's a good thing for innovation when it comes to creature catching, games and franchises. And I like how Power World is moving forward. They're not letting Nintendo take the thunder or take the breath, out of them. They're keeping going. And even recently, with the announcement of their new game, and that people are saying is another copy of what Nintendo was coming out with for Pokemon. And maybe it is, Nintendo coming out with it's Poke something. I don't even know. Even if I was, and still in good terms with Nintendo, and I like the games that they were coming out with, this wouldn't be a game necessarily that I would want to play. But, I like what Power World is doing. And then you have other creature caption games that are coming out. You see their trailers, and it's just amazing, guys. It's the space is growing. Nintendo with Pokemon had, a hold on it for so long. And, they just had people blindly just going for Pokemon. And, when the Pokemon games were hitting, they were hitting. But now that the games, sizzling out, and, they're a shell of what they used to be, people are finally seeing gold that was in front of their faces for a long time. I mean, look at the new Digimon game, and the love and this affection and the praise that it's been getting, with its release. And there's been a couple, arguably a lot of good Digimon games that's been released before that people did not see because of the the command that Pokemon had on them, but now people are seeing, other games, franchises in the space that's been good for a long time, implementing a lot of things that people wish Pokemon would do, but would never really do. And they do it well, and they do it really good, and I think it's about time, voice acting. Digimon's been had voice acting, better animations. Digimon has really great animation. You know, Digimon have been in the 3D space, I believe, longer than Pokemon when they made the shift, and they did it good. A good good transition. They didn't have some, you know, crazy messed up game that we've been. I mean, how long has it been since Pokemon Sun and Moon? Like, that's been a long time, and Nintendo still, with all the being the largest franchise in the world, having all this income, making all this money, they still can't get employees or a company, outside source, something to make a decent game. I mean, the best Pokemon game I've seen was Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And they went back to freaking the old style of making Pokemon games. Of course, it wasn't them. They outsourced that, but I don't know why they did. You guys know how to make those games. You might as well have the outsource make the 3D, yeah, game, and you go make the sprites, little things that you guys are so good at. Like, come on, what are you doing? I mean, and when you look at Pokemon Snap, the new one that came out, that one's pretty good. Whoever made that, you need, and whatever models those were, you need to get them to make the new Pokemon game, because obviously you can't make it, and that's fine. Switch your approach to a more creative lore, design thing, and then outsource someone to make it. Y'all make a lot of money. Change what y'all role is. Change it up. Do whatever you gotta do. While they're making your games, you can, go pay to train or hire new employees to be able to understand and, do what they need to do when it comes to making these titles. Because, the anime, I don't think the anime is like what it was ever since, I mean, we all want it actually, but I feel like it's been in decline in America since Ash left. I don't know. I'm too old to be watching the anime anyway. But these kids still like the cards. But the games, I don't think the games are not hitting anymore. They're not as good as they used to be. And Pokemon is definitely for kids, but there's a lot of older people that add up to the total when you talk about the cash flow and the money that comes in for that franchise. It's not all kids. I mean, there's a lot of kids, but a lot of the money and the merchant that comes from the merchandise, from the games, and all that, that's adults. Adults are buying it. Kids don't have money like that. I mean, sure, their parents are buying them this, they're buying them that, but a lot of things that are being bought, especially when it comes to a trading card, when it comes probably to copies for the games like it does, a lot of it's adults, and adults are waking up and realizing this ain't as good as all these other games that I can play. Sure, kids might take it, they might play it, I don't know. They might take time from Fortnite and pop it on and, play Pokemon, but maybe they won't. I wouldn't blame them. This new game is really lazy. There's a lot of people that criticize a lot of things in this new game. I mean, a franchise that when it was in those 2D kind of sprite things that was innovative and doing things and amazing, they're not intimating the same thing in the 3D space with all the capital that they have. And it's baffling, it's really crazy that they can't get it right. And it's been, I want to say it's been about like 10 years since Sun and Moon. I mean, not Sun and Moon. Scarlet and Violet, but I might be wrong. I really don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time, long enough for them to get the help that they need and to get where they're at, to get from where they're at. It's been long enough, but it seems like they either really don't care or they're depending on nostalgia and just people, banking on the title that is Pokemon to keep coming back. And that is not a good game plan. It's lazy. It's disrespectful to the people that keep pouring money and keep coming back and being fans and, just checking on what's going on with Pokemon. It's very disrespectful. And, If they don't see you when you're just making complaints, making conteats, and saying that you want this and make that, they dang sure are gonna see you when you vote with your wallet. So you have some complaints with the Pokemon game, the Pokemon franchise. Do not buy the games. You know, it's not worth it. Go back, sit back, and play a classic title, and vote with your wallet. And do not buy these games, because it's not worth it. And I'm glad that they're not getting these pattens, and I'm glad that Power World keeps on chugging along. They are whooping Nintendo's ass. You hear me? They're whooping them, and I'm happy to see it, because Nintendo deserves it. I don't know who's running Nintendo now. I don't know who's calling the shots, who's making these moves up in Japan or Nintendo America. I don't know. But they need to wake up. This person obviously does not, I don't know. I mean, I thought business 101 was you make good products, people will come for it. Not you give them slop and they'll keep on coming just because of nostalgia, just because of what the title, just because of the hype. I mean, come on. I don't think even designer, clothes companies do that. I mean, maybe they do. I don't buy designer, but I don't even think they would try something like that, to half-ass shit year after year, and just expect people to come and spend their money because it's of the name, because of the brand. Like, they're gonna be, what is this shit? At a point, like, what? But I don't know. It is boggling. It's crazy, and Nintendo needs to wake up and smell the roses while they still, have them, and just try better. It's okay if you can't make a Pokemon release every year. Maybe not even every couple years. Maybe every 5 or 6 years you come out with a new title. I think people will be fine with that. Especially if the title that you came out with before was a really good, deep story, developed, title. I think people will be fine with that. You don't need to come out with a game every year, every couple, because you got so many other ways of making revenue, doing things. You can make a region last longer than just a couple of years. There's so much that should be able to explore it that you can do it. But I don't know. That's just me, and that's my opinion of everything that's going on, and I'm happy about it. And I just want these other smaller companies that's trying to enter the creature capturing space to win. And I want competition. The more competition, the more that we can all see, Pokemon, something that we all liked and loved at one time, be better and do better, and just grow as a franchise rather than crawling or barely, being good enough to count in this new generation of, games. I mean, look at all the other titles that Nintendo pops out, and they wouldn't do a Mario game like this. They wouldn't do a Zelda game like this. They damn sure, I mean, come on. This is like the biggest thing that you have, and all your other titles are beating it. They're better. The gameplay's, but I think Nintendo eventually is gonna have to get it right. When you start affecting the company, they're gonna look inward and they're gonna acknowledge what is the problem. And when that happens, we will get a better Nintendo. We'll get another age of gold. But until then, keep on voting with your wallet. Keep on giving your comments, your critiques, and don't hold back. Be honest, be truthful, and don't think of Nintendo as your best friend. Your best friend Nintendo, always there for you, always giving you a new fun adventure. They're a business, they're a company, and they don't care about your nostalgia unless it makes them money. So vote with your wallet and let it be known. If you really love Nintendo, you will not let Nintendo be an apple, a golden apple. You'll let Nintendo shine as actual good company when it's a good company. With all that said, it's K-dre, and I'm out.